What's up, guys? Steven here. This one might be a long one, might be a short one. No idea. Background's just a shark because I like sharks. Another sobriety update. Today makes 5 days sober for me. Figured I'd tell a little bit of my story and give you the cliff notes. I ain't gonna tell you everything. I ain't gonna tell you about the day I was born or anything like that. I'm just gonna tell you my journey with alcoholism and all that, and maybe it'll help someone out there, that's like me and maybe needs a little bit of help. But here we go. I'd say my drinking started to get worse. It was around 2017. I was going through a divorce. And I'm not blaming my alcoholism on my ex-wife. I got myself into that. It was my decision to react to my divorce the way that I did. But the basic idea was that I was, basically ignoring what was happening and like how my life was falling apart by using alcohol. Before that, I did drink. I was an occasional drinker, I guess you would say. There were times where, I would get blackout drunk or something like that, but, I didn't have any problem stopping for weeks at a time or anything like that. And at the time, I was going back to school for IT stuff at, a community college where I live. I wasn't able to finish the schooling for IT. Life kept on moving. I, went kind of from job to job. One of my favorite jobs I ever had was Harley Davidson, and I worked in their parts department, and it was really cool to work around some of the coolest motorcycles in the world, but it ended up not being a really good fit for me. I ended up going to school for diesel mechanics, and ran out of financial aid, so I couldn't finish there. But that did segue into a job I got at a heavy equipment company here in town, and I was working in their parts department, making some of the best money I ever made in my life, and that's whenever my drinking started to get really bad. I was able to afford to, get stuff for my sons, and still drink, and that's whenever I started to get to a point where every day I was drinking a fifth of whiskey or 750 milliliters of whiskey a day. And I had been, up until 5 days ago, drinking like that for a year and a half. My drinking ended up getting so bad I had to lost that job, and my life kind of fell apart from there. But I was still able to find ways through stealing or other means to make enough money to where I could get my cheap whiskey, and I was still able to maintain my drinking. And bear in mind, I have, I went through health problems because of my drinking. I was passing kidney stones left and right for years, and I didn't care. I just wanted to be numb to how my life was falling apart around me. I was going from job to job, and was just being really self-destructive. I wasn't the father to my sons that they needed. And that's kind of where wrestling came into my life and saved me. Now, I'd been a wrestling fan ever since I was a kid. And I stopped watching the product for a little bit. Back in the Super Cena days, because, that's whenever it was geared more towards kids, and I was growing up at the time. And I fell back in love with the product. Literally WrestleMania 38 whenever Cody Rhodes came back. And there was this revelation that I had, it was probably about 2 weeks ago, that if I kept drinking this way, I'd never be able to, eventually I wouldn't be able to watch wrestling with my kids anymore. I'd be dead. And that's one of my favorite things to do on a Monday or Friday night or a Saturday when we have the PLEs and stuff like that. Me and my kids, we all sit on the couch together and we watch wrestling. And it's, some of my favorite memories I've ever had is sitting there and watching my sons get, excited whenever there was a Logan Paul match, even though I have my, my problems with Logan Paul and the way that dude is. My kids love him, and, or the disappointment and the anger that they had and that I felt, that we all went through whenever Cody Rhodes didn't go over at WrestleMania 39, or the excitement that we had watching SummerSlam whenever Cody went over Brock, or, us all wanting to boo Roman Reigns together whenever he was cutting a promo, or whenever The Rock came back and when Cody had said, but not at WrestleMania, and then The Rock comes out, and how my kids' minds were blown. And I realized that if I didn't stop drinking, like, I wouldn't be able to experience those moments with my kids anymore. And it's not like I was really present with those, in those moments with my kids anyways, because I was drunk out of my mind, and they didn't know any better, you know? And I'm very lucky to have the support system that I have. And, I had family that took me in, and they've supported me in this journey, and they never gave up on me, and their prayers were definitely heard. And I understood, that they were praying for me, and that all they wanted was for me to get sober. And, for that, for my mom and my grandmother, I'm very thankful for that. And at this point, I don't know where I'm going. I'm sorry for the 6-minute video or whatever. I know TikTok is usually for the shorter form content, but, I'm 5 days sober. The first couple days I was withdrawing really bad. I couldn't sleep at night. It sucked. By day 3, I finally felt like I could talk to you guys, and, here's day 5. And, before, when I had quit, I made it about 2 weeks, but the entire time, after I got through the worst of the withdrawals, all I could think about was alcohol. And that's kind of different this time around. The cravings aren't there that like they used to be. And I guess it's just because I'm so disgusted with the idea of drinking again and the person that it made me. At this point, I honestly hate alcohol for everything that it took from me, and like the person that it made me become, and how it made me fail as a father so many times. And I didn't start a TikTok to try and make money. I started TikTok because, besides my kids and like one friend, I don't really have anybody else to talk about wrestling with. And, that's why I want to talk to you guys about it here. And I'm not trying to do these sobriety updates all the time. It's not like y'all care about that kind of stuff anyways. But, if there's someone out there that I can help with my story, then maybe, it was worth doing it. And, so yeah, here's to 5 days, and, let's make it to 100 more, and let's make it to never drinking again. Thank you guys. SmackDown's tonight. I'm going to try and have some videos up reacting to what's happening, and I'll be up at 4 a.m. my time to watch the Chamber and expect some videos to react to that. Thank you for listening if you made it all the way through, and if you didn't make it all the way through, I totally understand.